Let's see if I remember how to do it.
I think it's Wednesday.
Do we know what time it is?
I believe it's 7 Eastern, and you know what that means, right?
It's the Greg Cherry Show. We're back, bitches. Oh, holy crap.
Right?
Buying a house is an exhausting process.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Moving into it's even more exhausting, I'm sure. So, yeah.
It's been insane, but we are finally in the new house as of today.
Right? Yeah. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. As you are in the new place, you can tell I'm at the old place because I'm isolated because the kids got the COVID. So.
Oh, fun.
I get to be isolated, so I thought I had it too. So I was over here being separate from every damn buddy, and then it was a false positive. But since he's sick, I still have to isolate, so I can actually go back to work. So it is what it is, kids. But yes, the Greg Cherry Show, dude. It's funny. You put that post up yesterday of the house cleared out, and you had end of an era. I legit got a little misty. I'm not gonna lie, because that's the only place I've seen you guys ever visit. You guys was in that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys, that's the only house you guys have been in again. As a couple, as a married couple. So it's obviously more for you, but for the Greg Cherry Show fans and for the co-host, it was like, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I only posted that on Facebook. I didn't post that or did I post that on Twitter?
I think it was on Twitter. Yeah. It was one of those.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you do kind of get a little misty-eyed, especially after you've been there for almost 12 years.
Right.
A lot of memories in that house, a lot of good times, Rumble weekends, and just a lot of game nights. And
yes.
Lots of good stuff in that house. But
you figure you've been there 12 years. That's been almost the entirety of Talk Wrestling's existence. So every time you watch that show, it was, there for the most part. The entirety of the network, for sure, and the entirety of your brand. So, it's definitely weird. And, God, we've been here 22 and a half. We're trying to leave, slow but sure. But, yeah, when you're somewhere that long, it definitely feels more than just a house. It is a home. And but I had no doubt you and Jen will have great memories to be made in the new place. I'm sure it's it wouldn't have been bought otherwise if it didn't look like it was the right fit. So
right. And mind you, this room still needs painted. That was part of the plan today to get painting in this room done. It didn't happen because we got caught up doing a whole lot of other things.
Of course.
So yeah, I've started the process of getting things set up. It was like,
yes,
I'm running out of time. There's no way you're going to get the full Greg Cherry brand set up. For crying out loud, there's a bathtub right back there.
Right.
I am not in the bathroom, by the way. I'm actually in where the studio is going to be. But, we're planning on replacing the tub. We actually have 2 bathrooms in this house. Yes.
Wow. There's a start right there. Shit.
It's definitely a start.
Yes.
But in the second bathroom, we're going to be putting in a jacuzzi tub.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah. So that's what that is.
Right.
We just have to, first of all, finance to get it put in. And
yes,
we actually got that for free. It was a good deal. They're normally like $1,000. And somebody just straight up didn't want it. It was like, hey, you want it? It's like, don't have to pay $1,000 for a freaking jacuzzi tub. Yeah, I'll take it for free.
Working for I work for now, there's no better deal than free. So
free $99, my favorite price.
That's right, free $99. That's it. Yeah, I had $350, but no, free. Oh, free, got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So a lot has happened in the last month.
Okay. Yeah,
Listen, I was very happy on my birthday, but so upset that I could not spend the week after the Greg Cherry Show talking about how Notre Dame absolutely whooped on Clemson.
Right? Oh, my God. That was wonderful.
And Alabama lost the same day. I was like, this is the greatest birthday ever.
Yeah, it's Greg Cherry's greatest birthday in the history of Greg Cherry birthdays.
Like Notre Dame whips on Clemson and Alabama lost.
Yes.
Mind you, I was very frustrated that it took that long for Brian Kelly to beat Alabama, but nonetheless.
Right? Jiminy Crickets. Yeah, seriously. But they did. They beat him. And yeah, football has definitely been up and down in the last month on all fronts.
The Steelers mathematically still have a chance to be 500.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Like, I don't understand it. Like, I wrote them off when they were 3-7, and now they've won their last 2 games. They're going to Baltimore's coming to Pittsburgh, a Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore, might I add.
Yes.
The possibilities of Tomlin somehow pulling another 500 season out of his ass still exist.
Yeah, and when you figure, you've got GMs and coaches and people falling by the friggin' wayside, it's a wonder that he's still got the headset on.
Well, the Titans fired their GM, and they're in first place.
Yeah.
Place. Not in the whole AFC, but in their division. It's like, wow.
Yeah, we talked about that. Well, they talked about it. I was actually on the phone trying to deal with other bullshit when they were talking about that yesterday on the sports bar because my son had to eat and he was by himself, so we had to get him some Wingstop. That was the thing. But yeah, the NFL has been, like I said, up and down. College football is what it is, man. We had a rant on the show yesterday about the CFP and their rankings and we've talked, you and I, about the CFP and their system of rankings and how nonsensical it is. And it's only going to get worse next year. So,
well, next year's the last year with 4 teams.
Okay, so the year after, sorry, the year, whatever it is. It's.
I was really pushing for this to be the week in case Alabama would have somehow snuck into the number 4 spot, because that would have been the entire show ranting about how poor their decision making was.
Oh
but
God, right?
I'm still pulling for TCU. I am on the TCU bandwagon for this college football playoff.
Right.
Because they're one of those teams that I've watched over the last few years.
Right.
And like, they have the ability to put up monstrous amounts of points, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So for them to actually be in this position, I kind of want them to win it all, because Georgia's won. Michigan, I know, hasn't won since like the 90s.
I'll piss on them anyway.
Yeah, and Ohio State's won in the last few years, like in the CFP era. So it's like, you know what?
Right.
Throw a wrench in there. Like, let's have some fun. Let's go TCU, because the Irish aren't there. They're going to play in the Gator Bowl on the 30th. So
yeah. I had hopes for the Bucks, and then just they let that team up north come in and do what they did. It was ugly.
They're still number 4.
I know. Oh, I know. Trust me. I got the rankings right here. And you know what? They might still be. They might still be in there. If we lose our background, bear with me here.
It's them and Georgia, and then Michigan and.
We're gonna lose for just a second here. There we go. So there it is. I mean, Georgia and them being, they're undefeated. That's how it should be. If you're undefeated, you're going to be the top team. This is how it is. Yeah, hopefully, like you said, TCU can put Alabama in their place. But I'm hopeful, but I'm not optimistic, if that makes any sense. Like I'm not. It feels still unlikely, but I am pulling for them to do it. So we'll see.
The possibility exists.
Yes.
I want to point this out. Happy birthday, Anthony.
Yes, happy birthday, Anthony.
I'm sorry that you share a birthday with Sonny, but it's cool that you share one with Monk.
Well, Tammy's enjoying her birthday bread and water, so good for her. It's what it is.
Kate?
Oh, and by the way, Tony did bring up, was it Tony that brought it up? No, it was Josh brought it up. The reason the Titans fight the GM is because of the whole sexual escapade nonsense. So I get it, but
I was not aware of that. I just saw the news, like I saw the headline. So
yeah,
thank you for
it's
that makes more sense.
Yeah, there's apparently impropriety, shall we say? But Box, this has to be a good birthday for Mox. Yeah, he's losing Regal, and we've been hearing about that on the news all damn day. Your buddy Sean and Denise have been on that like flies on shit, and good on them for taking being part of that call and getting the stuff out.
Speaking of, congrats to Denise for being on the NXT pre-show for Deadline. That's awesome.
Yes, be a busy Saturday for all of our people. Scott, we're gonna be on the air for 12 hours on Saturday.
Have fun. I'm probably gonna be painting.
Yeah, we're going on an hour before Final Battle starts, covering Final Battle, hopefully taking an intermission, but I doubt it. Going into Deadline, hopefully taking another intermission, but I doubt it. Going into open mic night, and then at midnight, I told JJ, I know we usually try to call it midnight, and then we get into bullshit. We are done at midnight. I don't give a shit. Midnight Pacific is it. I'm going to bed. Screw this. 12-hour. Like, I haven't produced a show other than Statboy Sports Bar that long in, that particular length all year since we've been doing these watch-alongs. But, it's been a minute since I sat it with the headset on for that long a time. So I told him, like, we're taking breaks. I need to be able to go to the bathroom. So, yeah, 12 hours, which is why I'm going down tomorrow to Disney to take my official on-site COVID test to make sure I can get back into work and not wait until Friday because I want to be able to be here and handle business. So,
Daniel,
we have.
It is not without trying.
Yeah, it is not for lack of effort.
So it's. So I've had a very eventful.
Yes. You have
a very eventful month, obviously with the move.
Yes.
Went on a cruise. That was a lot of fun.
You did. How was the cruise? Where'd you end up going again?
We were going to the Eastern Caribbean. It was.
Oh, wow. Wow. There you go.
Good time. I was glad to make it back home. We slept on an air mattress though, because we had a lot of our stuff moved here. And we were supposed to close on November 15th.
Right.
On both properties. And then we found out November 14th that it was delayed. Like at like 4:00 in the afternoon, we find out, hey, we're not closing tomorrow. I was like, after all of our stuff is already here, I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, this is going to be a rib, right? Jeez. Oh, my God.
Trust me. So we went out, got an air mattress. Ended up having to sleep on the air mattress for 3 weeks.
Oh, man.
We found out Monday that we were closing on the Inglewood property.
Yeah.
It was like a bunch of excitement. And then we get a call from our bank 3 hours later saying, oh, we can't close on this one on Wednesday. It's like, I was like, at that point, it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, this is got to be a big giant rib on the square at this point.
Yeah. Less PG rated words were used in that conversation.
So we're trying to stay monetized at least for the week. So
it's like, let me get a couple weeks back in, maybe hit 2023 before we start dropping F-bombs on the show.
Right. Although I'm sure they were more than reserved for the bankers. Yeah.
But so technically, legally speaking, we're homeless. Because we don't close on this till Friday, but the previous owner, since all of our stuff is here, is letting us stay here till the close date, which is
thank God. Good grief.
Yeah, because otherwise we'd have to like get a hotel or something, and
right. So yeah, that is if there is a bright spot to this place not being sold yet, is that if we have a COVID situation or something like this, we have a place to bail. We have a place to isolate somebody or somebody's. So it's, but yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, like I said, you got the place you're in, the homeowner's being real cool about it, but man, that'd be a rough last half of the week to say the very friggin' least.
Daniel, I'm gonna put this back on screen, just because, like, maybe it's not just me. Like, maybe you guys need to get out there and be like, hey, like, you should go on the Greg Cherry show or something. I would love to have Denise on one of these shows.
Right?
I understand she is insanely busy.
Yes, she is.
Incredibly busy. So I understand why she wouldn't. I would just love the opportunity,
Yeah, it's more likely to have you on your shows, because my shows very much conflict with her ability to be on WWE's pre-shows, post-shows, watch alongs, whatever. And they're going to pay her more than I am. Just a smidge. So I understand that. And she's a wonderful personality. I got to watch her first on Sean's podcast, Sean Waltman's podcast. Let me be clear on that. Yeah. Xbox podcast. There we go. Let's say the real, Xbox, whatever it is. Because there is a Sean Ross Sapp, the same spelling as Sean Waltman. So I got to be clear when I say Sean. Yeah. But she's cool. And like I said, her and Sean both today really were able to thankfully clear up the Regal bullshit with Tony's conference call. Because, man, that has been back and forth all week, pretty much since Max laid him out last week. It's like, okay, now what? I'm happy for Regal in that, when we saw his son in NXT, it was like, wait a second. Like, why haven't we seen this guy until now? And then the fact that Triple H used the War Games cut on Twitter was like, okay, well, he's coming back. It's just a matter of, matter of when.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah. And it sucks for Mox and Brian and, Yuta and everybody involved in it. And hopefully they can write it in properly where it doesn't look completely clustered. I mean, Tony kind of screwed the pooch by saying flat out he's not coming back. But, hopefully we can, as fans, allow ourselves to suspend disbelief watching the story unfold.
Yeah. So that was, there is one more thing that I did during the break.
Yes, you did.
Well, you don't know about this.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, I can't tell anybody about it.
Oh, Jesus
so
Christ.
I have something secret going on.
All right, boy.
I'm hoping I can reveal it sooner rather than later, but
that'd be nice.
My hands are tied on that one.
Well, of course.
But yeah, like Sean and Denise, Sean Ross Sapp and Denise do a fantastic job with everything they do.
They do.
And speaking of Sean, I do want to bring up, because I know it's going to be something that's brought up, and I kind of addressed it in my car video, but I didn't really have like a huge platform. Right. I was just kind of spewing out the mouth.
Yes.
So I had to adjust the rules of the gauntlet, not because like I'm scared to defend the title or anything like that. It's just the undertaking I wanted it to be at the start is just not feasible.
Right, of course.
Because trying to coordinate multiple people for different times and stuff, it's much easier for you and I to coordinate with one person than it would be for you and I to coordinate with two people trying to get on the same schedule. So that being said, the gauntlet will be me facing each and every single person in that gauntlet. So whether I win or lose.
Okay.
So I will be facing, I believe Dwayne is first, so I'll be facing Dwayne. If Dwayne somehow beats me, he earns a championship shot in the future.
Oh.
And if multiple people beat me, they will all earn a championship shot in the future. But I want to specify something. These will not be one-on-one championship matches that they earn. If like 5 people beat me in this thing, I have to compete in the 6-pack challenge.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
But to save your sanity, I'm throwing out scenarios, Dwayne, okay? Relax. So should 5 people beat me and we do a 6-pack challenge, we're going to do a little like CWT style match where all 6 of us answer questions at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then whoever has
combining WTC's old host and champion with the CWT with Jack of all trades format, kind of, sort of. Okay.
Adjacent, yeah. So
Jason, there you go. Jason, there you go.
So I figured that was the most fair way to do it, because it's like, hey, should anybody beat me, then that'll be what happens. Now, if nobody beats me, then I don't have to defend the title. Now, I did throw this out there too.
Yes, you did.
And this is unlikely considering how my reign went. But
Yes.
if all 9 people beat me in that gauntlet, it will be all 9 of them competing for the championship for the vacated WTC championship. Because if I can't beat any of them, I'm forfeiting the title.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So, like, I shouldn't. If I can't beat any of them, then one of them should be champion and not me.
Right, of course.
So,
all right. Well, there you
go. That's the new gauntlet rules.
All right.
And that way we can also film the matches out of order. Because
right.
And I can just edit them into the thing, because then if they beat me, then it doesn't matter who they face. That was another thing that was going to be hard to coordinate, is trying to get everybody in order of how to film them and time that all without dragging it out to, like, July.
Yeah, especially with me not knowing my Disney schedule literally until the end of each week. It's going to be bananas. This would have been a perfect week had we all been in sync together, because I've been gone all week from Disney because I've been stuck. But we didn't factor that in just because it's been, like you said, you've been trying to get settled into the place. I've been trying to coordinate with not only my doctors, not only Dylan's doctors, but Disney scheduling, Disney. I've literally talked to 4 different departments of the company today alone, just trying to get all this shit squared away. It's a wonderful place to work, a wonderful company to work for, but it is a corporation. It is what it is. So
yeah,
it's been a little crazy, to say the very least.
So yeah, cards on the table. I had a plan to film the match with Sean next week, but Sean came down with COVID last week, so I told him we'll push it back till next year, like early next year.
Right.
I told him not to worry about it because he has bigger things to worry about at the moment. And the gauntlet still will be a charity stream. That is something that's very important to me. Yes, absolutely. That's not changing.
No.
Just mainly because supporting Jesse, supporting Cher is incredibly important to me. So that's staying.
Yep, exactly.
And actually, quite frankly, it was more important to me than putting the title on the line.
Yeah, definitely. The title was what it was for a long time, and I think that both brands, and even No DQ when it started, that we've all kind of evolved beyond just the initial concept, in that the thing was really designed for me to have a different showcase instead of talk wrestling, because I was kind of over the concept at that point. I mean, it's 5 years ago. I'm still doing talk wrestling now, so that shows you how much we've not gone through with that. But you and I competing as we did, you dominating as you have, it's just kind of like, okay, now what? So it's Saturday would be great if I wasn't doing a 12-hour stream.
Dwayne, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to have free time other than like this and Jack of all trades until after Christmas, because we have a lot to get done in this house. We've got to unpack. We've got to get work done. We got to prepare for Christmas. There is so much stuff we got to do. We got to get carpet installed. We got to get new appliances. There's a lot to do. So the gauntlet, and also to save Jeff some time, or also I guess give him more time to write questions, because I don't know where he is in that process. Likely the filming for the gauntlet will start after the new year.
Yeah, that's going to have to be a thing, and that's a lot of that's on me. I'm not even going to lie, because I've just been so. I've kind of had my hands and my mouth tied by not being able to say exactly what all goes into being employed and being hired on and starting at Disney. But there's so much to do, and living as far away as I do from my location, it's just, it's logistics and everything just go into it. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just stating a matter of fact here, folks. It is a process, and I haven't worked to this degree for a company like this in 5 years, maybe more. And no, definitely not as far as I am now, because the furthest I've ever worked away from home as a non-driver, because that's still a thing, was the San Fernando Valley, which, was a train ride for an hour, and then I was there. This is a much farther thing. There's just a lot that goes into it. And the wrestling, God, even JJ has been praised me, Greg, that I've been able to delegate, because I am about delegating my responsibilities when it comes to the podcast. And I hate that shit. I do. I want to do everything.
Yeah.
And having to say, no, I need to be able to do this has been, I'm grateful for it. So first of the year, after the first of the year, we will definitely get going on the trivia matches. It's just going to take time.
It is going to take time. I feel bad because this was a donation goal in August?
Yes.
And it's still taking us this long to
get
through everything. I knew with selling the house, it was going to be tough sledding to try and get it done, because my initial goal was to get it done before Christmas, and we haven't even started.
Right. And at least your audience is understanding that, life is what it is. People have lives, people, have things going besides professional wrestling and podcasts. So, it's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. I keep obsessively checking my email for the secret thing that I'm hoping.
No worries, dude. It's okay. You're excited about what you got going on in life. God forbid you be happy with something, right?
Yeah. It's one of those things where once I know I can tell people, I'm going to tell as many people as possible.
Right. That's it.
But the thing is, I don't know if it's going to happen either. So,
of course.
So realistically, what I need from everybody, and this is the vague stuff I was tweeting about too, is I need good thoughts that good things are going to happen, because
of course
I'm through a lot of the process. It's just got to get that confirmation.
Dealing with things of a non-disclosure nature are a mucker further. I've said that for years. Wrestling has been a big part of that for me the last 20. So I get it. And like Josh saying, we understand that you're having to check, and we all support you, and it's a good community we have with the Great Cherry brand. That you have the Great Cherry brand, excuse me. And it's whatever will be, as they say on that song that everybody seems to want to sing nowadays. But we got your back, dude. And whatever comes of what you're checking, we hope it's fortuitous for you.
Mm-hmm. My email just dinged again.
Ding!
Fightful Select.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Hey, what's
Damn
up?
You,
so yeah, that's all. If I talk any more about it, I'm gonna spill beans. So let's move on to something else.
Yes. Yes.
We had a question in the chat.
Yes, I saw that.
I think from Daniel. Yeah. Question for the Q&A. Your thoughts on Survivor Series War Games and thoughts on NXT Deadline. I thought the War Games matches were done very well. Was still confused about Austin Theory winning the U.S. title, but hopefully it leads to something for Mustafa Ali. I want him to have a crowning moment.
Yeah, people asked me yesterday, what's up with Ali? I don't know. Like I got super chat at the very end of the show. What went wrong? I'm like, I don't know. There was so much good there with him. It seemed like the guy's skilled as hell. He's got potential for days. It's just they put him in that role with Retribution, whatever the hell it was called, and it completely derailed him. And now all of them are kind of scattered throughout the business. So, it just kind of is what it is. But as far as War Games, we were covering it. I wasn't able to be a part of that because I was at work. But man, what a great way to advance the story with Sammy without making us 100% believe that it's really solid yet, because there's still that little nugget of that he and Kev are still not 100% dissolved, and we're going to get a Mania blow off. It's going to be a thing. He's going to get a major pop, at Mania, because one way or the other, it's going to be a thing. But for now, it's like, the way they set it up, I'm intrigued to see what happens next. And that's the goal of sports entertainment, is to keep your audience engaged.
Now, as the NWA, you know more about the NWA than I do.
Trying to. I haven't watched that any longer. I haven't watched the other stuff. But
no, I don't mean current NWA. I mean like
I got you.
Classic NWA. Because I was going to ask you, has anybody with the advantage in War Games? That's a stupid question. The NWO won in '96 with the advantage.
Whoever won, or
yeah, whoever won. Because I've noticed, as far as WWE's like NXT's version, I'm pretty sure everybody with the advantage, for the most part, has lost the War Games.
Well, and I've tried to, try to be better about the WWE War Games presentation. The thing with War Games is War Games itself literally evolved out of the Genius and the Death Day, because the Horsemen had been so dominant and so road roughshod over everybody for whatever it had been that previous year and a half within the Crockett promotion, that it was okay. We as a company and babyface have to do something to show there's weakness in the armor. And it's like, okay, we'll take all of them, put them in the cage together, and we'll get our top babyfaces, which at that time was the Road Warriors, Dusty, Nikita, and Paul Ellering. And, it literally evolved from that. But as time went on, War Games seemed to be, okay, well, we have this show coming up. We have to get here. How do we get here? It's like, no. It made sense on the men's side, I guess, because, everybody was against the bloodline. The women's thing literally seemed like it was thrown together. That was kind of a mess. Much more so than the NXT women's matches, I think, were. But the whole point of War Games was to give the Horsemen their comeuppance, to give the heels in a situation the comeuppance. War Games, the two biggest War Games in our fandom, the NWO completely shit on everybody. They destroyed the Horsemen in their own backyard. In 97, 96, had not been for the evolution of the Sting storyline, you might as well just bury the WWE babyfaces completely and just, that's it. Because Sting came back, punked everybody out, and then walked. Prior to that, in the Bischoff era, War Games kind of hokey, and that's sad. So I don't know if the advantage thing, if somebody wants to do the official stats for WWE or NXT or whatever, but I think the heels having the advantage is kind of the way you should write the story, which is what made, the bloodline thing, if they were going to win, then cool. It makes sense that the babyface had the advantage because it worked out in terms of the story. Anyway, to answer your question, I don't know, but it sounds very likely that they have had the disadvantaged guys win.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's see here. Josh is asking thoughts on it being more talked about now of The Rock winning the Rumble. 10 years ago when Jeff was here, he and my wife got in a fight about The Rock beating CM Punk to win the WWE.
Legit verbal altercation. Like it was an actual thing. Yeah. Because I was over it. Because I did not want Dwayne to be back. But now, I'm going to probably catch heat from your audience, so forgive me for a second. I like what Virtue put out there on Twitter a couple days ago. Have Roman pull a Brock Lesnar, enter the thing, defend the title, win it, and then go, all right, look, I beat everybody already, all right? But y'all still want to talk about Rock like he's the guy. So I'll tell you what, Dwayne, I challenge you Acknowledge me. Come to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's how I would write it.
So
not have the Rock be in the Rumble, but have Roman decisively dominate the Royal Rumble match, defending the title, like he was forced to do in 2016.
Yeah.
And then actually win the thing and go, all right, enough of this bullshit. Let's just come on, Dwayne. That's how I would do it.
I mean, that's a possibility.
It makes logistical sense or logical sense. I just don't know if they'll actually pull that trigger.
Right. I've always been of the opinion that Roman and Rock doesn't need the title. But the thing is, who takes the title off of Roman? If it's and quite frankly, if it's for the title, I think Roman still wins.
Yes,
because the Rock's not going to be the one to take the title off him.
No. What I would do, and I also saw, but go ahead.
And Josh is bringing up about them splitting the belts. They never should have unified them in the first place. So that's a Vince folly. But Triple H is trying to. I feel like Triple H is trying to figure out the best way to do it, and he just can't get there yet because one way or another, the belts have to come off Roman first. Like, you can't beat Roman for a belt because I feel like that makes him weak, even though he would still continue on being a champion. So you either take both belts off of him and then split the belts, or you just unify them and make it one physical title and just call it the Undisputed Championship like you have been.
The hardcore marks, unfortunately, will be like, well, that means they'll, if Roman continues to retain and they want to keep that number strong as it's been,
they'd have to retire the WWE Championship. I understand what that means.
Yeah, that's big.
It's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. The 60-year history of the WWE Championship, but
as of next year, 60. So, what I would do, and again, this is just me, not even Monday morning quarterbacking because we're not even hit the show yet, but I would have for the first time Roman, I would have Roman, maybe not main event both nights because I don't know if you want to have, that he deserves the shine because he is Roman Reigns right now and he's unbelievable talent. And there's always the pointing out of, the creative's so bad, but the money's there, man. Business is being made. So it is what it is. I would have Roman do night one against the winner of the Elimination Chamber, Cody Rhodes, lose the title, and then be so fired up that he goes in there and just whoops the Rock's ass on night two. Or vice versa, however you want to quantify it.
This is another alternative, and it's not my favorite scenario, but you could have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble, have him, a la John Cena in 2008, challenge Roman for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and actually win the title in that.
Okay.
And then go on to defend it against, I don't know, do you have to face Seth for a fourth time?
Hey, there's still money there. People will squawk at that. There's still money in him and Rollins, so I'm okay with it. That's the best one I've heard. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
Thanks.
Somewhere Bex and Seth are laughing at that. That was good shit. It's good shit, pal.
I tried. That was just an off the cuff attempt.
Hey, it worked. It worked good for off the cuff.
I don't like the idea of Roman working two matches, especially in back-to-back nights. I don't like that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I would. Yeah, I'm not a fan unless it's a tournament of people wrestling multiple matches in such a short period.
Yes, but as you and I both know, a tournament at WrestleMania can only lead to bad things and long calls.
Yeah.
Long taping sessions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they get there. I guess that's kind of the intrigue of the Royal Rumble. It's like,
right?
How are you going to get there?
Yep.
So that's probably why I think it's sold out in San Antonio.
Yeah, this is why the Rumble is
sold a lot.
Yeah, his favorite show, JJ's favorite show, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful night, and they're going to make the Alamo Dome, which is always good for business for the Rumble because they've done the Rumble there before, so it's going to be good. I'm looking forward.
I'm going with that. This is going to be a fantastic Rumble because '97 was dog shit.
It really
2007 was phenomenal. 2017 was dog shit. So this is the fourth one in San Antonio. So I'm hoping it continues that trend, and this one's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the one that wasn't dog shit wasn't in the Dome. It was in whatever the hell the other San Antonio spot is, where I guess where the Spurs play. Sean would know. Shawn Michaels would know. I didn't have a clue.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was
I don't have tickets for the Spurs like he did, so I don't know.
Dwayne is asking, are you doing another Rumble? I'd like to get interest for it. That would probably be a Thursday night thing on a non-trades night, trying to get people in.
Yeah, I would say there's more people likely to be involved because of and again, this sounds so stupid. I hate the way it sounds when I say it because it's better when other people say it, but the stretch of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media is so wide with so many different people now. We can get a shit ton of people on that Rumble pool. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, because you and I will, as always, get free entries. Like we'll get one free entry apiece because we host the thing, and then we will probably do. Do we want to stick to $2 or do we want to up it and try and up the pool a little bit?
I would say stick to $2 per. Well, do you do 2 and then do 1 per match, $1 per match, or you just do 2?
No, I did $2 per number pool. So that was like they declared how many they wanted for the men's and or women's if they wanted that, and it was a maximum of 5 pulls per match.
Okay, so maximum $10 per, so maximum 20 across the show. Okay,
yeah, that's how I did it. I think I'll do like a poll or something on the show. Is if you guys want to up it, let me know. And if you want to send the PayPal money, you also have to send it friends and family and not like for services or something.
Jesus,
because if you do it like for services, PayPal takes money out of that. If you do it friends and family, and if you do that, then we won't have enough money in the pool. So
kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I had to eat some of it last year.
Yeah, which sucked. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, I agree with Brett. It's a shame that 2017 the Rumble wasn't good because the rest of the show was actually pretty solid, especially that Cena Styles championship match. Yeah, God, that was
Sasha and Nia. I don't say this about Sasha Banks matches, but Sasha and Nia was what it was.
Yeah, and it was
Bayley
going to be
and Charlotte, not their best match.
No.
The tag team titles, that was weird. Or that was on the pre-show, I think. Tag team titles were on the pre-show.
What a surprise, 2017.
Yeah, because Gallows and Anderson beat the Bar, I think.
Yeah, that was also, it was just a strange, like the matches weren't awful. It's just the Rumble was just such a cluster.
Yeah, Reigns and Owens for the Universal title actually wasn't bad. That was a fun match.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty decent show. A decent match, rather. We'll see. Yeah, Nia being on the pre-show. Nia should have been in the freaking parking lot show where she didn't be on television.
Yeah, I thought those were the 2 pre-show matches because Sasha and Nia wasn't on the main until the month after, I don't think.
Yeah, and even then, it was Nia was already starting to show the chinks in the armor, if you will. So,
yeah,
even then. So I'm going to ask you, since I got you on this spot here, not a dog spot, liver spot, whatever. Does Sasha Banks come back?
Yes.
Okay. Because
I don't think she's Bow Wow's mystery person either. I'm gonna throw that out there because I've seen that float around, especially with Naomi posting a picture with Jade Cargill. That doesn't mean anything.
No, it means shit. Because she was heavily, and I mean heavily, featured on the Barmageddon commercial, which was shown throughout Monday Night Raw.
I think she was on the episode with Fallen Raw, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, no, she wasn't on that episode. She'll be on later in the season. But the fact that I don't think USA or NBC Universal, whatever the hell the company's called this week, I don't think they'd be so blasé as to do that without WWE going, okay, yeah, go ahead. It's okay. So, Trinity, I am legitimately thinking she won't come back now because it seems like she's like, meh, whatever at this point. But then again, her hubby and his family are pretty much the story right now. So there is that as well. And if you're not going to bring in, it's too soon to call up Simone Johnson. Regardless of NXT involvement, she's just so new. Trinity's the best placement for female bloodline member.
Yeah.
So, because that facet of the company is grossly ignored by the bloodline and the storyline contained therein. So you got to get the women's championships involved too.
Mm-hmm. Dwayne says she's known as Sasha and not Mercedes on the show. I feel like I'm going to dispel that a little bit, because if you pay attention to the hair, that was around WrestleMania time frame. I feel like this was filmed long before the walkout. So
yeah.
So I'm going to throw that out there, because I remember Armageddon commercials, unless I'm just imagining them, months ago. Came up with the idea and they just never decided to run the show until now.
I'm not sure, because Nikki looks like she's in better, as far as decent shape. So she could have been around the time they were doing the Rumble, because both her and Brie look damn good in the Rumble. So could be.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I as much as I would love, and everybody knows my fandom of Sasha Banks, as much as I would love to say Sasha comes back, I can't for sure say anything. The only person who can say anything about that's Mercedes.
Yeah. And that's what we all need to realize too, is that, it's her call.
Yeah. And as much as I would love to see her, I would honestly love to see her come back, win the Rumble, and beat Ronda. Because, and I'm going to say this, and people might disagree with me, I think Becky and Ronda, the bloom is off the rose. I think it's too late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think if you do it now, it's not going to have the impact it would. Especially because people aren't high on Ronda's second run.
No, not at all.
The opportunity was at WrestleMania 35. That's when the match should have happened.
Yep.
Adding Charlotte, quite frankly, added nothing to the match for me.
No, nope. And I'm
especially
a Charlotte person.
Because she wasn't involved in the decision.
Nope. Yeah, she was literally just there. Literally just there.
Listen, I know I'll probably get heat for the anti-Charlotte stuff, but
no. If anything, I would get heat for praising Charlotte, but I agree with you on that. She had no place in that match at all. So,
I mean, our guest on the last show, Ella J, is a big Charlotte fan, so
I know she is, and yeah.
But in my opinion, I don't know where you add Charlotte in this current women's division without thrusting her back in the title picture, and that's frustrating. Because the title picture does not need Charlotte in it 24/7. It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Before Lacey Evans got pregnant, I know the storyline was kind of stupid, but I was interested to see where it goes because Charlotte was in a freaking non-title feud.
Right? And then they just, it was what it was.
And then they didn't even have her in a match at WrestleMania because she wasn't in a title feud. She wasn't hurt or anything. She just didn't compete.
No, and I would even say the bloom is off her rose completely because she's just not been around. The last time we know she was at a wrestling show without any doubt was literally behind the scenes at Rick's last match.
Yeah.
Because she was there. They just had Megan at ringside doing the gimmick with Karen Angle instead. It's like, okay, sure. Or Karen Jarrett. Sorry. God, I went back way too far. It's the same person. Get off my ass. But
Dwayne, I don't think Roman uses Simone at Mania because she's in a heel stable. What would that do for her?
Yeah, that wouldn't do anything for anybody, honestly. And I agree with Josh that, Natty, if it was whoever it was correct. They need more stories with the women that don't have to have the title.
Yep. But the thing is, unless it's Evolution, they don't do that.
Well, they need to bring that back at show for one thing. That was talked about earlier this year on both. Let's think of the
last women's feud on WWE TV that had a pay-per-view match that didn't involve the championship.
Yeah,
the first one that comes to mind is Mickey and Becky in 2017.
Yeah. Yep.
I honest to God don't know, if you exclude Evolution, if another one exists.
I don't think it does either. And again, that's not the girl's fault. It's just, it's very telling of how, the evolution of the women's division was so poignant. No, not really.
Charlotte versus Trish at some time. I mean, I guess, but that was a one-off match. I'm talking like a feud.
Yeah, because they built toward that match. That was it.
Yeah.
Is this
pre-shows don't count. If it's not on the main show for me, it's not that big of a feud.
Right. Exactly. Oh yeah, I can't think of anything beyond or after Becky and Mickey.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's just WWE not, taking stock of their own or accountability of their own selves with their women's division. It's.
I thought of a more recent one, but it's NXT.
Still, it's okay.
Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai.
Yep, that's true. And
that was probably one of the best non-title women's feuds I've seen.
And there was so much more there, except Tegan and her knee are just Rey Mysterio these days. So I mean, she's back for now.
Yeah,
but
she's back now.
We'll see how long she stays healthy. I hope for a while because I like Tegan. I always have.
The Tegan and Dakota feud in NXT. Go back and watch that street fight if you haven't. That was awesome. That was so much fun.
They beat the dog out of each other. Oh my god! Yeah,
they did. It was fun.
It was fun to watch. Yeah, it was. That was the thing. It was fun to watch, and it wasn't like watching a street fight where you go like, "Oh, maybe they should have done that." It was an enjoyable experience to watch the match because you had two people who knew how they were doing. God forbid.
It was probably. I'm going to throw this out there. The best women's match in NXT, not involving Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Yeah. Dwayne has a great point about women's feuds not involving the title. It's right there coming up on Saturday. It's NXT, but Alba and Isla. Yeah. And again, it's not directly involving the title. True. But it is very much over Alba's inability to become the NXT champion and Isla's interfering in that process. So it's not about the championship as far as the championship's not in the storyline, but it is. So anyway.
All right. Well,
I love how Mikey comments, congratulations that you're back. And then he asked me if I'm busy. We're on the air, stat boy. Hi. Fuck's sake, Mike.
There's he's not busy. Submit $25 and he won't be busy.
Might be dinner at the club tonight.
Yeah. In a couple minutes, you won't be busy because we're heading off the air. It's almost time for Dynamite.
It's almost time for Dynamite. That's right.
It is good to be back. We will be back. I'm waiting for it to happen.
I'm waiting for it.
Thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week. Jack of all trades is going to be back next Thursday, and there is a possibility we might have more than 4 people.
Oh, curious. Well,
I'm also going to do something specific with the Who Is It round. I'm putting a clock on that some bitch.
Right.
That round goes way too long.
Oh my god, yeah, especially when we're all sitting there, like, especially when I play. If we're gonna be throwing myself under the bus, whatever. But you haven't been on with me since I added this to. I try to add some of my shows I'm on. I haven't been on very much, period. But I will say, I totally stole our favorite. Well, I don't know about you because he's blocked you for reasons unknown. Adam Pierce's quote on his old T-shirt. When you guys go out in the world tonight, it's 8:00. It's almost time dynamite. But if you haven't today, find a reason to smile. Help out when you can. Be grateful. And don't be an asshole. It's not hard, guys. There you go.
I agree. This guy, not an issue. There's always next week.
Next week. That's it.
But thank you all for joining us for the Greg Cherry Show. Hopefully this room looks slightly better for next week.
Hopefully I'm back in the studio next week if I'm on.
So there you go.
See. Yeah, hopefully I'm back to work and I can be on the road.
Yeah, we'll see you for Jack of All Trades next Thursday. Woo! And that is it for us. Until next week, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week right here on the Greg Cherry Show. Don't be a jag. Good night.